We are now on full lockdown, so I've had to replace the classroom whiteboard for the kitchen fridge, but it works just the same. So today's learning objective: I use subordinate clauses to enhance my sentences. Are there any words in there we might find a little bit tricky? Well, subordinate clause, we're probably not sure what that is, but you will know by the end of this short video. And enhance, well, that means to make better, okay? Enhance. Always good to enhance our sentences. We don't want to be boring. So, clauses, what are they? They are kind of the building blocks of the English language, okay? They are collections of words with subject and verb that make sense. They make sense of what we're talking. So let's have a look at a main clause. A main clause, subject, object, works independently on its own. So, for example, I like bananas, okay? I like bananas. What do I need? Full stop. It's a sentence. It works on its own, okay? I could quite happily go up to someone in the street and say, I like bananas. They might look at me funny, but it works as a sentence. I like bananas. Trouble is, it's a little bit boring and it doesn't tell me very much. And remember, the key objective today is enhancing our sentences. So what I need to do is I'm going to add either a little bit to the end or a little bit to the beginning to improve that sentence and make it a little bit more like a year 3-4 sentence. So, I like bananas. Well, when do I like bananas, for example? I could say I like bananas in the morning. Okay, I like bananas in the morning. I've still got my main clause, I like bananas. That didn't change. What I have done though is I've added a little bit of extra information here, in the morning. In the morning doesn't work on its own. If I went to someone in the street and said, in the morning, they're going to look at me a lot weirder than if I said, well, I like bananas, okay? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But when I combine the two, I like bananas in the morning, I've got an enhanced sentence. I have used a subordinate clause to enhance my sentence. I like bananas in the morning. Do you know what? It doesn't have to go at the end of the sentence. I could have put that at the beginning. So for example, I could say, in the morning, in the morning, in the morning, I like bananas. Now, two things missing from this. The keen-eyed ones are going to notice that is now the end of my sentence and needs a full stop. And those of you who have been looking at other lessons will realise what I've got here is a fronted adverbial. In the morning, I like bananas. Fantastic. It works either way. It doesn't always have to be about when, okay? I could change this sentence. I like bananas. Why do I like bananas? I like bananas as they are full of potassium. Okay, potassium is really essential for your diet. Make sure, especially when you're on lockdown, you're getting lots of fruit and veg. I like bananas as they are full of potassium. As they are full of potassium does not work on its own. You cannot say, as they are full of potassium, because you don't have a subject. What is full of potassium? Well, I like bananas as they are full of potassium. So there it is, main clause, subordinate clause added to the end. How about you have a quick go now, get a sheet of paper and have a go. Can you rewrite this sentence? Don't change the main clause. I like bananas needs to stay the same. But can you enhance it by adding a subordinate clause either at the beginning or the end? Pause. Right, now that you've had a little go at that, there are loads of things I could have said really, aren't there? I like bananas because they are yellow. I like bananas after I've eaten a meal. I like bananas, especially the green ones. I don't like the green ones as much. Okay? Loads of different ways to look at it. Let's try again with another example. So you've had a little go, but let's just let's try something else. Let's have a longer main clause, shall we? Let's have this then. I'll use my purple. Mum is taking me for ice cream. Okay? Mum is taking me for ice cream. Or I might just say, Mum is taking me to buy ice cream. Makes a little bit more sense. Mum is taking me to buy ice cream. It's a main clause, it works, okay? We've got our subject of the story, Mum, what is she doing? She's taking me to buy ice cream, okay? So, tell you what, before I have a go at enhancing this by adding a subordinate clause, maybe you could enhance this sentence by putting on the end why she's taking me for ice cream, or perhaps you could tell me when she's taking me for ice cream. Okay, have a little go now, pause. Now that you've had a little go, my mum is taking me to buy ice cream. Let's think, why? Because I've been a good boy. Mum is taking me to buy ice cream because I've been a good boy. Should we pop something at the start as well? Maybe we could have a subordinate clause to tell me when. Okay, so after school. After school, comma, it's no longer the start of my sentence. Mum isn't actually my mum's name, so it doesn't need a capital letter. After school, comma, Mum is taking me to buy ice cream because I've been a good boy. After school, not a sentence, it's a subordinate clause. Because I've been a good boy, not a sentence, it's a subordinate clause. Mum is taking me to buy ice cream. That's a main clause, it works on its own. Notice when I put the subordinate clause at the start of the sentence, I need to use a comma. When I pop it on at the end, I don't need it. After school, Mum is taking me to buy ice cream. Right, let's have a couple more goes, and then I'm going to leave you with a picture, and I want you to try and write me a few sentences about that picture. So here's a couple more sentences, main clauses that we can use to practice. The cat sat on the mat. Main clause tells me what's going on. The cat sat on the mat, and we'll have one more. I could just have a simple one here. Children like to play. The cat sat on the mat. Children like to play. Using those main clauses, can you have a little go at rewriting them? Try having one where the subordinate clause goes at the beginning. Try having another one where the subordinate clause goes at the end. And do the same for this. One at the beginning, one at the end. Pause. Right, let's have a little go and let's try. What could I have done? Well, I could have told you when the cat likes sitting on the mat. So I could have said in the morning, in the morning, comma, the cat sat on the mat. In the morning, the cat sat on the mat. Okay? Or earlier on in the morning. Earlier this morning, the cat sat on the mat. Okay? Well, I could tell a little bit more and I could have added something to the end as well, couldn't I? The cat sat on the mat while eating a mouse. Okay? Earlier this morning, the cat sat on the mat while eating a mouse. I've put subordinate clause at the beginning and the end there, haven't I? Children like to play. Okay? What about this? We could have something at the beginning. Because they're full of energy. Because they're full of energy, comma, children like to play. There it is at the beginning. What could I have added to the end? Children like to play after they've done their work. So I might want to get rid of that first line. Children like to play after they've done their work. Okay? Now, I'm going to leave you with a little picture for you to have a go at making as many sentences as possible. So here's my little scene, and as per usual, because you can do this at home, okay, if you've got a parent or a brother or a sister or anybody with you, they can just draw you a little picture. And what you can do around it is you can start to make a few little sentences to describe it. So here is my picture. I'm going to have Don't know why, but we've started to have a castle, and in the castle there is a very scared looking man, a knight perhaps, and outside there is a brave and gallant princess. Okay, there she is with her beautiful princess hair. Okay, what I'd like you to do is have a little go at making a few sentences for that. Pause. A few sentence ideas I could have had for that. I could have said, because he was trapped, the princess saved the knight. Okay, so the princess saved the knight would have been my main clause. The princess saved the knight. Why did she save the knight? Because he was trapped. Yeah. Because he was trapped, comma, remember if it goes at the beginning. Because he was trapped, the princess saved the knight. Or perhaps I could have said, the princess saved the knight, and I might have just added something to the end of that sentence. The princess saved the knight after finishing her Netflix box set. Okay, no rush to save that knight, yeah? After she's finished her box set, she saved him. Princess saved the knight after finishing her Netflix box set. Okay? Have a little go, draw your own picture and make your own sentences.